So, as far as forcing someone to grow, just some guidelines whenever you thinking about it. You're
Yeah,
forcing somebody is not encouraging. Always
correct.
need to encourage growth, But as far as forcing, like when you start giving ultimatums, when you start, you need to do this, or X,
Yeah.
Y, and Z is gonna happen. Like really pushing the issue. We all know what forcing somebody to do something is.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting on the couch watching I was watching something with my wife, and these they did just pop up to me, and I'm just like, yo, is it cool to force somebody to grow? Because it's just like once you grow, I know you gonna get over this plateau. You gonna get what you looking
Facts,
for, because
facts.
I'm on the outside looking into your situation.
Three.
And
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Chuck and Mo
yo,
Podcast,
Chucky Mo
episode one.
podcast,
I'm one of your hosts, Mo. This is
Chuck.
we getting ready to get started, man. We got a lot of good stuff coming
Oh yeah,
forward with y'all, man.
let's
So let's go
go.
ahead and get right into it, man. Let's get
Okay.
right into it. So I know y'all are new. Some of y'all watching may know us, some of y'all may not. So we'll give y'all a quick backstory. My name is Maurice. I go by Mo. 29 years old. I live in Virginia. I am medically retired from the Navy. Served about 10 years, almost 11 years. And, just living my life now, man. I got a beautiful wife and a daughter and one on the way. So that's just a little bit about me. Chuck, you can go ahead, man. Talk to him.
So 29. Been married for 9 years. I have 3 kids now. I
Mm.
did the military. I did it for 8 years. Got out. A veteran right now. I have my business on the
Yes,
side.
sir.
I cut hair. Going back to school. I don't know what I want to do for my life right now. I just know I want to make some money. And
Yes,
I
sir.
want my
Yes,
voice to
sir.
be heard. You know. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. Okay.
But that's just a little bit, man. We're not gonna, be too formal with it. We just gonna go ahead and get into it,
Get to know us as we go.
Yes, sir. We wanna get to know, ourselves and grow each and every day. And we also have a lot of knowledge. Both of us being 29, we grew up together, took separate paths. But here we are, 29 years later, right back where we left off, man. Right back where we left off.
Oh yeah,
I remember getting in trouble with you at Truvon all the time, man.
man, all the time,
All the time,
all the
bro. All
time.
the time.
That joint
Man,
never
those are
stopped.
some good days. You remember? You remember when I went to 71st, and you remember when we didn't skip school, right? But we had no exam, and then they was like, "Oh, if you don't have an exam first period, you
Man,
can go home and come back." And I was like, "Well, shit, I don't live that far away, so we can go to my pop's crib." And we walked 20 minutes to my pop's crib,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
if not more, we walked like 20 minutes. And then we was like, we're gonna play the game for a little bit, whoop, whoop.
Play the game.
And we couldn't get in through the front door because my key wasn't working, so we had to go around.
Yeah, we had to go through the back.
Go through the back door, and man, we play the game, and all we hear is the garage come up,
So instantly left my body.
bro.
Instantly,
I'm talking
instantly.
man, yo heavy breathing behind the door.
I was trying to hold that joint in, yo, so could nobody hear me.
I'm like, bro, my dad about to get it. And the crazy thing is, bro, we didn't even do nothing wrong, bro. We didn't even
We
do nothing
didn't.
wrong. We just felt like, man, we gonna get in trouble for something.
Got to be.
But basically,
Gotta be
my
grown.
dad came in and was like, Maurice, if you ain't here, come downstairs, yada yada. So I was like, whatever, man. I'm gonna just give myself up. I went downstairs and he took me back to school, Chuck. But you were still in the house.
Still in the house because he ain't called my name, dog.
Did you come down when you heard us leave? Like, what was you thinking, man? What was you thinking?
When I heard y'all leave, I thought your daddy was trying to finesse me, like not really hear him, but I had to watch y'all leave.
Yeah.
Man, I came downstairs and I I was like, okay, I don't necessarily remember where I was like at all, like
Yeah.
in the neighborhood, none of that. So left out the back door and I was like, I'm just gonna start walking. I'm gonna get back to the school eventually, you know. Man, I started seeing my way back. I was down this. It was you know how North Carolina roads are. It's a road, but it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
ain't
yeah.
got no sidewalks or nothing. So I'm walking down this road.
Basically on the street.
Yeah, on the street. I'm moseying along. I probably got like another like 10 minutes till I get back to the school. We good. Man, obviously your daddy left something at the house. And I saw his car before I ducked off. I was walking down the the street and I kinda did one of these, and he passed me and I thought it was cool. Man, you eat on my shit, bro. I was like, he ain't never turned around. I'm over here avoiding eye contact. He was like, come on, Chuck. Come on, Chuck.
He told me about it. It was funny when he told me about it, but like we talked about it later, and he was like, he knew it was two of us because whoever called said that it was two of us. So he already knew, like, somebody was there. So, but man, those even still, those are some good times, man. That was some good times.
You got some nosy neighbors, bro. Did y'all even know them like that?
I was upset because I'm like, at that time, I had a mohawk. I come here every day. I got a 4-inch mohawk. You don't recognize me? Like, come on, bro. Like, I'm the same dude. I literally come to this house every single day. But yeah, man, people be in other people's business, man. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, we can go ahead and get into it, man. Episode one, man. So let's start off with let's talk about growth, man.
Okay.
So I see you you had something here that says, is it fair to force someone to grow? Explain your opinions on that, man.
So as far as forcing someone to grow, just some guidelines whenever you thinking about it.
Yeah.
Forcing somebody is not encouraging. Always need to encourage growth, but as far as forcing, like when you start giving ultimatums, when you start you need to do this or X, Y, and Z is gonna happen, like really pushing the issue. We all know what forcing somebody to do something is,
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting on the couch watching I was watching something with my wife, and they did this pop up to me, and I'm just like, yo, is it cool to force somebody to grow? Because it's just like once you grow, I know you're gonna get over this plateau. You're gonna get what you looking for. Because I'm on the outside looking into your situation, and I'm like, yo, if I just pound on them, boom, 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 stay on them. Is it, is he or she gonna get to where I see where they need to be, right? So I was like, man, like, yeah, man, you really should. You might, you could. But then I was thinking, how much growth are we necessarily taking away from somebody by forcing them to do it either too fast? You know what I'm saying?
At your pace.
Right. Right.
But that's easier said than done because, especially if you're with somebody, you know what I mean? And they're dealing with whatever they're dealing with, you obviously are like, man, I feel like if you handle your X, Y, Z the way I think you should handle X, Y, Z, you're going to be straight. You know what I mean? And it's like a part of you feels like you're helping by saying, look, you gotta stop doing this, or we can't be together, we can't be friends, you know what I mean? Or even like, I can't come around you until you get this part of your life together. You know what I mean?
Right. And
you got every right to feel that way, but you also can't feel like they're doing something to you by not moving at your pace. I had a habit of that, feeling like, man, you need to grow up, or you've been complaining about the same thing forever, bro. Like, when are you going to look in the mirror?
When you going to move? Do something about it.
Like, do something about it. You know what I mean? Because I can only be a shoulder to cry on for so long. Eventually,
For
you know
so
what I'm saying,
long,
we're gonna have to
right?
put something together. But then it comes to, what are your motives? What are my motives when I'm asking you to grow? Or is it for me or is it for you?
Exactly, exactly. And that's where we you run that thin line. It's just like, am I like when you really gotta think like, am I doing this for them because I want to see them shine, or am I really looking at the back end benefits of them shining? And okay, cool, I ain't gotta hear this crap no more. Okay, cool. Um, I can move forward with what I got going on because now they in place with the plans that I had, going on in my life.
Yeah.
Dang, that's a tricky one. That's a tricky one. That's a tricky one. It's just like, who's who's to say it's good and who's to say
Mm-hmm.
that it's not good to force
You
somebody
can
to
also
grow.
run into them faking it or doing it for you and not doing it for themselves. And
Right. And is it truly growth, or is it just mirage
the facade,
of
like,
yeah.
am I just saying, you know what, man, let me show him I can do this. And then let's say hypothetically, I do something, right, for somebody else that they want me to grow on or improve on. And I
Mhm.
do it, and then they walk out my life, or we don't share that connection anymore, or we fade as friends. I'm going to revert, excuse me, I'm going to revert back to who I was because I didn't do it for me. So when I took that step or
Right.
that growth, and I lose the person, or the person I did it for is no longer like, valid or in my life as much as I would like anymore, I'm going to revert, or I'm going to have regret. I'm going to be like, man, I'm going to be like, yo, I did that for you. You know what I mean? I
Right.
did that
Yep.
for you. And then I can hold that against you, or I can feel like you let me down. Like, hey, I tried to prove something for you, but then is it really growth? Is it,
Exactly.
yeah,
I take it as
like, go ahead.
it's like using steroids versus actually going to work out. Once you get off the steroids,
Mm-hmm.
once you don't have no purpose of faking it till you make it, then you go back to being weak. Then you lose all that. You lose it quick too,
Exactly.
quick. But when you
Exactly.
actually grow, you don't lose that quick, or you probably don't lose it at all because it's growth. Like it's a part of you now, and you're not doing it
Exactly.
for nobody else. You're doing it for you, for your own benefit, and everybody else is capitalizing off of that. But I don't know,
Exactly.
man.
Exactly.
I don't know, man. Like, what situation can you see you forcing somebody to grow?
Um, for it to be, uh, for it to be the right thing to do, I don't see it being okay to force, but I believe that you have to hold people accountable.
Okay.
Meaning, we all have to grow up at some point. We all
Right.
have to mature. We all have to deal with things that are plaguing us. I can't force you to, but I can hold you accountable if you don't. And
Yeah.
the person that's struggling with growing has to understand that, okay, I'm not growing. These are the consequences. Whether it
Right.
be
To
my
know that.
mental, whether it
Hmm.
be my relationships, whatever it may be, especially, even with your children, what I'm saying? My children have to grow up, they have
For
to,
real.
you got to stop peeing in the bed eventually. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
can't be here and I can't tell my 10-year-old child the same things I tell my 4-year-old child. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
obviously, if there's a situation where medically, you have, accidents, okay, we could work with that. But at some point, I
That
can't,
level of comprehension of, okay, I need to get up for real. It's
for
it's a
real, and use
different
the
level of
bathroom,
comprehending what's going on. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
same with boys, even me. Like, boy, something so simple as putting on deodorant as a young man. You know what I
Man,
mean?
look,
Like,
it's
something
like,
so simple as that. We struggle with it as kids, And it's just like, but all it take is you to be funky around somebody
The
and
wrong
somebody
person.
call you out in front of people, and now you're embarrassed. But the
Yep.
whole time your parents been telling you, you must put deodorant on. You need to put deodorant on after you get out the tub and stuff like that.
So look, like coming with that, like, yeah, you get that embarrassment. Do you think that embarrassment is needed, or do you think you can get the same results without getting that embarrassment?
I think lessons come in many forms.
Like that.
And sometimes it takes a wake up call. You know, it
Mhm.
takes someone else other than your parents, whether it be friends or whether it be a girl or something like that. It takes outside forces to make you look yourself in the mirror sometimes. Sometimes, you know,
Yeah.
we get caught up in ourselves and we don't think about others. And sometimes, you know, real conversations have to happen, you know, for growth to happen, because I don't
Yes.
think without those real conversations, those real moments, you can truly comprehend the importance of certain things. And that's different
Yeah.
for everybody. It's
Yeah.
probably some boys that never struggle with that, but then there's other ones that struggle with that. So it's just, I feel like everybody, you know, has to learn the hard way once or twice in your life, if not more.
Yeah.
Life is the biggest teacher, man. Life is the
Fact.
biggest teacher,
Experience.
bro, especially in growth. Experience, bro.
Experience will help you grow the most. The
The most, bro. But let's talk a little bit about the importance of spiritual growth, man. Do you think, all right, so, you know, your spiritual growth, how important is your spiritual growth in relation to your physical growth? And I don't mean like physics, but like your relationships with other people. Like, how important is it to grow your mind and to grow your spirit, you know, equally?
Man, so obviously I'm really into working out. I'm really into my body, you know. As I know you are too. We go work out. I think a lot of people don't put spirituality on the same type of pillar, on the same type of level as your physicality and your mental, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of that makes up who you are. If you physically can't do it, then obviously that's a problem. If you mentally can't do it, then that's a problem. But a lot of people, they tend not to pay attention to the spiritual aspect of it. And all of those are equally important. Equally important.
Yeah.
If your spiritual being is not there when you do get in those hard times, what are you leaning back on? You know?
Exactly.
Because all of that is in your mind. It's in your mind. It's a feeling that you get to give yourself some kind of self-worth, you know, to know that it's something bigger other than me that's out here.
Exactly.
Man, spiritual growth is so important, and I'm not. Obviously, I have my own spiritual growth, my own religion, but just I'm gonna be careful with this, right?
Go ahead, man.
I'm not. I would never go and like overly promote a religion, but I wouldn't take away from a religion. I believe what I believe, but I also do believe that everybody needs to be tapped into some kind of spiritual practice, you know? And I feel like if you don't, then you missing a huge chunk of what you potentially could be in life as far as a friend, spouse, somebody, just anybody in any relationship. Like, your role in a relationship can drastically change by either having your spiritual being intact or not having your spiritual being intact.
Got you. I feel the same, man. I feel like it's really important, but I feel like you said, a lot of people, it's last. It's work out 4 to 5 days a week, read my Bible once. You know, meditate. You know, 3 days a week. You know, relax my mind, read my Bible once. You know what I mean?
Therapy sessions.
Go to therapy sessions. You know, read my Bible once.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have to understand just as much, like you said, with the physicality, you know, we have to understand our physical, mental, and spiritual are all tied together. You know, think of it like, you know, if you with two of your friends, it's three of y'all, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I don't know if y'all ever had to do this in boot camp, but we had to do buddy push-ups, where basically I'm doing a push-up, right? My legs are on the person behind me's shoulder.
I was in the Air Force, dog. You know.
Yeah, look, you're right. We had to do, okay, I'll give you a better one. We had to do sit-ups, right? Sit-ups was the one. So sit-ups, right? They would have us, so the way our bunks and stuff were set up, right? It was a circle like this. So the inside of the bunks, there's a circle. That's where we would line up, right? Do PT and all that stuff. When we got in trouble, mostly when you got in trouble. So we had to lock arms, right? Everybody locks arms around this big old circle. So it's about 20 to 40 people. And we have to do sit-ups, right? Now, as we start, right, it's not hard because everybody can do a sit-up.
Everybody going up, you know, right? Everybody moving.
You know what I'm saying? But as we get to like the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, you got that one person.
40s and 50s.
Like, you got that one person that's not giving. So now I'm pulling him up, right?
And he holding me down on one side.
And he holding me down on one side. You know what I mean? And then this person, so it can just be a factor. So now I'm working harder, and the person on his opposite side is working harder. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I know what's at stake, so I gotta pull him up. If we looked at it that way, our spiritual, our mental, and our physical, and we trained them all equally, you know, and we fed them equally, there will be no I have to.
Lack.
Exactly. You know, man, I'm in the gym. I'm healthy. Mm-hmm. You know, mentally I'm doing okay. But now I got to trust God because things ain't going right. I haven't been feeding that. So now, you know, I'm lacking my spiritual faith. You know what I mean? So I got everything else, and now I'm out here moving, right? I'm out here moving and overdoing. Now I'm stressed out, Chuck. So now my mental hurt. So now I'm stressed out. I ain't going to the gym. I ain't eating right. Now my physical taking a beat.
It's a rippling effect, dude. It's a rippling effect,
bro.
And people don't even recognize. They was like, man, I'm going to the gym. Why am I still feeling like this? Or I'm getting it out. I'm getting all my chakras and all my incense and my sage and all that kind of stuff. I'm getting it. But you know what's up? It's because, man, you got that lack. You got that lack. Mm-hmm. Is one pillar that's cracked. It's cracked. You know, and you can't neglect it. You got to go fix it. You have to go fix it, or it's gonna get worse and worse and worse. You know,
exactly. You gotta feed your spiritual being. You know, we're all spiritual creatures. Like I said, read on it. You know, read the word. You know, and just constantly give yourself that knowledge. I'm working on that. You know, like I told you, you know, my plan for 2023 is 5 pages a day of something, just 5. And then as I you know grow, my goal, what I see myself is being able to move to 10 pages, to 20, to 30. You know, and the reason I say we start at 5, though, the reason I say start at 5 is it's easy to maintain and stay focused for 5 pages. And I could intake all of that.
Yeah.
When you start to sit down for hours and hours and hours reading, you know, how much of that are you actually retaining? You know, so we have to think about that too. So retention is a big thing because I'm sure we all read our Bible, man. 8 to 13-year-old me, boy, I could tell you some scriptures.
I'm telling you.
As I got older,
am I able to apply these scriptures?
Exactly.
Am I able to really come back and recall them, or am I just reading stories? You know,
exactly. Do I understand the scripture and how it pertains to my life now versus when I was 13, 14 years old, and you know I was just learning about God and learning about, you know, the scripture and all that stuff. So spiritual growth is really, really important, y'all. Make sure you're feeding your spiritual and your mental and your physical
every single day.
You know, make sure you're attending to your garden. Grow yourself. You know, it's not always best to give to other people. Sometimes you got to give to yourself, man. You got to give to yourself.
You have to. You can't. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was saying you can't give your best if you're not in order as in the first place.
Exactly.
You know, you don't ever want to give your loved ones some crap. You know, you wouldn't ever want to give your kids some crap. You wouldn't want to give your mom some crap, your best friend some crap, your spouse some crap, you know? So make sure that, you know, whatever you give into them, it's coming from somewhere pure. It's coming from somewhere whole. And it's not going to be perfect. You're not going to be perfect.
No, absolutely. You're going to make mistakes.
You're doing your best to get that best product out to the people around you, you know?
Absolutely. So another thing I wanted to talk about, I saw this this article. It was talking about 12 personal growth ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna just go over them and then you tell me, you know, how you feel about it and everything like that. So one is take a spiritual journey, kind of like what we just talked about. You know, go beyond what you know or what you think you know. Learn. So you know, we read the Bible, but there's more out there, you know? So understand your religion. There's nothing wrong with learning about other religions and, you know, understanding, you know, other people's point of views as well, you know, when it comes to their spiritual journeys and things like that, you know? So take that journey, put yourself, make that stride this year to really dive into your spiritual being.
Yeah. And to piggyback off of that, I would say, if you're gonna go on a spiritual journey, regardless of what journey it is, believe in what you're going into. You know, it's gonna be very difficult for you to go down a journey or to start a journey when you don't believe in it in the first place. Even if you necessarily have to psych yourself out, be like, okay, I'm just going. Honestly, it's just like, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? You know, if you're going to do it, do it. You know, put your all into it and really like hone in and be like, okay, I'm going to take our religion for an example. I'm going to go down a religion, you know, this spiritual journey with Christianity. Like, if you're going to fast, you know, do it right. You know, if you're going to pray. You know, and truly believe. Now, obviously, you need to put an end time on your journey so you can track if your spiritual being
your progress,
is being fed. Right? You know, so you know, take a week and give it your all for whatever spiritual journey you're going on. Give it your all so you can get that. You know, for sure.
Okay, I like that. All right, number 2 is creatively express yourself. It's like it says, creativity gives us an outlet to express our authentic selves. So be creative, you know, find something that you enjoy doing, and speak through it, you know, whether it's, you know, drawing, music, it could be, you know, spending time with your kids, spending time with your wife, you know, be creative. I don't know if you've seen the TikToks where they do the little card and it's two different little postcards and it'll say one thing on the top and one thing on the bottom. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just add some spice, you know, to your life and really dive into your creativity, you know, expand your mind, you know, whether it's trying new food, trying a new recipe, you know, things like that. Just, you know, taking a day trip sometime, going to, I want to go to an art museum. I've never been to an art museum.
That's they have a nice one here. Somebody was telling me about it.
You should go, bro. I be seeing it. And I think that would be a good experience. It's different, you know. You're just there, and it's all about how you feel, you know, how you perceive art. So.
Exactly. Exactly.
Creatively express yourself, y'all. Number 3 is choose a virtue. One way to challenge yourself is to choose a virtue. That can support your vision for the year. So There's kindness, there's gratitude, there's courage, there's determination. Choose something, that you're going to say, I'm going to focus on, being gracious this year, giving gratitude, or whether it's, I'm going to be more courageous, find that virtue. What would you say your virtue that you think you could focus in on this year would be?
Patience, right off the bat.
Patience. Okay.
Right off the bat. I am starting to realize that, well, I already knew this. I don't move on anybody's time but myself, other than my kids and my wife, But if you're wanting for me to do something, you got to understand that you're not the only person in my life, and you need to see it like that, because I'm for sure seeing it like that. Now, the caveat that when I'm doing something and I need outside help with it, I have to realize that everybody not moving on my time, on my same time,
Exactly.
So I have to learn how to have the same type of patience that I require for other people to have, with the relationships that I'm in. So I would definitely say one of the virtues is definitely having patience. We all here, we all trying to do this life thing, and we all on different levels. We all from different perspectives, and I'm trying to make it through just like you trying to make it through.
Exactly, bro. And we all, I think a lot of people, struggle with patience. I think that's what I would choose to, is patience. I'm very impatient with the timing of how I want my life to go. That's my biggest thing.
That was a mouthful right there.
Is I see the finish line and I want to sprint, not knowing that it's a 3-mile run. And I get overwhelmed because I'm like, man, I'm doing XYZ, I'm doing everything so fast, and I'm not there yet, not knowing that it's not meant to be fast. It's not meant to be here right now, bro. So that's one thing for me. It's like, I gotta work on my patience with, the speed at which I want to get places. And I have to, kind of like what we talked about, the journey, whether it's my spiritual journey or whatever journey I'm taking, I gotta enjoy the journey. I have to enjoy it, because what good is it if I get there and everything leading up to it was a blur?
Man, so I man, it was a couple of weeks ago I was thinking about this, man. A lot of people will, like you said, will look at that end result, that finish line, but not understand that you got to prepare. You got to prepare. You have to prepare before you get out there. You got to prepare you got to prepare to endure and to really enjoy the finish line.
Exactly, bro.
A lot of people don't want to go on the journey of growing. Don't want to go on the journey of getting better. It's a lot more to it. Like you say, hey, I want to be a professional athlete. Okay, cool.
Man, there's a lot that goes into it. It's a
lot.
When I was younger, I didn't see it. I'm like, man, I'm athletic. I'm fast. I could catch a football. I could dribble a ball. But then you see these athletes and you hear about waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 a.m.
robots.
100 free throws in the morning. Kobe went to the gym 3 times a day for 1 to 2 hours of a session at minimum. Man, I'm like, that's intense, man. And it's this Drake lyric. It says, "How you forget to fill up with gas on the road to riches." You moving so fast, or you trying to get somewhere so fast, you didn't even gas up.
Didn't even gas up.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't even gas up. You just driving, and you're not paying attention to your gas light, and you're going so fast, you're gonna run out of fuel, man. You're gonna run out of fuel
every single time.
So I feel like patience is a good virtue to choose. I think that's what I'm gonna work on this year, man. That was good. Personal growth idea number 4 is act as if. These simple words have the power to transform a person and/or situation. Say you feel self-conscious and nervous whenever you have to speak in front of people. The next time you're in a situation, you can make a choice to be more confident and act as if you are more. So act as if you belong. When you want to start that business, act as if you're a business owner. You know, when you want to be an athlete, act as if you're a professional. You know what I mean? With anything you do, don't sell yourself short by not preparing yourself or acting as if the position you want to be in. One thing they tell us in the military is if you want to make E6, you need to work like an E6 as an E5.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Every single time.
So it's like
that preparation,
act above your
man.
pay grade. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's that preparation.
So
you have to prepare for the next level. You have to.
You have to. And you got to give yourself a little confidence boost. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like that's what you're going to become, start preparing yourself for that, grooming yourself for that, and acting as if you've achieved it. And then when it comes, it won't be overwhelming for you.
It won't. Yeah, it won't be such a struggle to really take this on. Yeah. I like that.
Number 5 is stop resisting. Okay. What you resist.
Resistant. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. What you resist, meaning that whatever experience you're pushing away keeps showing up in your life because another option is not present. For example, if your thoughts are always focused on what you don't like about your job, then you're resisting it. And your situation gets magnified, creating anxiety for you. If you give yourself another option, another way to think about the job, then your resistance and misery lessens.
Man.
So, go ahead.
Yo,
go ahead.
So my mom, she didn't, I wouldn't say taught me about this, but she taught me a way to relook at this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because I was having troubles with my job. I was having trouble with different things that I got going on. And going back to spirituality, she always tell me, she was like, ask God for what you want, give your situation to God. But when you at your job, when you doing X, Y, and Z, you know, give it your all. You know, give it your all. Do your best, because you're not gonna do anything but make your situation worse. You know, you're not gonna be able to focus on transitioning and leveling up if you stuck in the mud. You know, stop keeping your mind stuck in the mud, stuck in the bad crap that you're going through. You know, give your situation to me. I'm gonna give my situation to God, and I'm gonna allow Him to mold me, to prepare me, to help me transition up. You know, because the more you sit and sulk in whatever turmoil you got going on around you, the more tainted you're going to be. The longer it's going to take for you to get out of that quicksand. You need to be still.
It's way easier said than done, man, because,
you
know, sometimes you have to work a job you don't like. And that's just the reality we live in, you know, so.
It might be experience that you need for the next job.
Exactly. You know, shift your mind and say, okay, I don't like doing this. But instead of saying, I don't like doing this, why am I doing this? Tell yourself, okay, by doing this, what am I learning and what tools am I getting to help me, to prepare me for when I leave the situation?
Yeah.
You know, like all that paperwork and stuff we did, you know, I did in the military and stuff like that. I didn't always like doing it. But it prepared me and propelled me, to when I made rank, you know, and having to manage people, having to manage more things. So that's a good thing. You know, that's one that when I read it, I'm like, man, I used to resist a lot. I used to be that guy that was I don't like doing this. I don't want to wake up and go to work. Like, but I got a job, you know, I'm making good money. You know, it's paying for my house. It's paying for my food, you know. So, you know, we got to look at things a different way, you know.
A different way, yes. You got to have a different perspective on what's going on. If you look at it as bad, it's gonna be bad. If you look at it as a growing pain, let it be a growing pain, because they go away.
Absolutely,
they go away.
Absolutely. All right, moving on. Number 6 says, this is a good one. Forgive somebody.
You said forgive?
Forgive. Who have you not forgiven? Although forgiveness is one of the hardest things to do in life, it's one of the biggest acts of self-love. I'm going to read that again. It's one of the biggest acts of self-love. You don't forgive people for them. You forgive people for yourself. When you have not forgiven somebody, you hold on to that, bro. And it's affecting you and that person. I know we all heard the saying, that person sound asleep. You know, you heard somebody say, you over here worried about so-and-so, and they over there sleeping good. They ain't even worried about you. You know what I'm saying? And you over here sitting here, you know, I'll give you an old relationship. You over here, who they talking to now?
Right.
You know, man. You know, man, I can't believe she did me like that, man. You know, old stink behind, you know, or whether it's somebody, you know, when you was a kid, you know, whether it was your it could be your parent, you know, have you truly forgiven your parents, you know, have you forgiven your siblings, your friends, you know, anyone that's done something to you, big or small, forgiveness is key to growing. And when you don't forgive, you hold on to that. So when it's time to love other people or love someone else, your heart is hard. So you can't even give all of yourself to somebody else, man. Go ahead.
Yeah.
How you feel about that one?
Nah, man, you are completely right about all of that. I feel like if you don't forgive people, you make it harder to move forward. You make it extremely hard to move forward, and not just with that one situation in your life. So, if you got something going on with your husband or you know your spouse, and you know it's some unforgiveness not there, that can affect the relationship that you have with your kids.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
And a lot of people don't understand it's a rippling effect with this. All of our lives are tied. You know, so when you dealing with this unforgiveness, it's got this hold on you, you know, to where you're not able to really see the love and I don't know, you're just not able to see what everybody else
you can't see the forest from the trees, man.
Give you, you know. I dealt with unforgiveness for a while. Yeah.
It's a thing, man. It's a thing for real.
I just couldn't believe that somebody would just do me dirty like that. You know, I've done people dirty before, but it's just, man, you put people on these higher levels, you know, in your life, these relationships, and it's
expectations.
Like, hey, I would never do that to you, you know. But being able to forgive that person helped me just move forward with the rest of my life, you know, and to build from it. Because look, if you're not gonna forgive them, then forget it. Forget it. You know, if you forget it, then you can't. It can't hold you back. You know.
But it's hard to forget.
It is hard. It is hard. So if you're gonna think about it,
I ask you this though. But if you forgive. But do you think you can forget it without, or do you think because you forgot it, you forgave?
No.
Okay. So you think, so what you're saying is, okay, if you're not going to forgive someone for it, forget about it. Don't let it.
Yep.
But can you forget without forgiving? That's a good one.
You can't. No, that's the thing. You can't forget it. So you might as well just go head on and forgive. Yeah. Skip the step, bruh. Skip these steps.
True, man. It's definitely worth it, man. I don't always forgive fast, but I always forgive, man.
Yeah.
I can't hold on to stuff, man, because the reason I say I don't do it fast, man, I'm one of those folks is like, you hurt me, I gotta see what you got going on. Like, what's so important? What's so important that you had to do that to me? To me? You know. What did Mario say off you remember You Got Served? He said, I come here trying to help y'all, and you don't come here and pull this? Back when like, to me, you have been strange to me, man. No.
Come on, man.
But forgiveness, man, it's just it adds so much peace to your life. It adds so much peace. And it allows you to really give yourself to who's there currently in your life. And who matters at that moment.
it allows you to go back to what you were saying. It allows you to get that understanding of why that person even did what they did to you. You know, because regardless of
Exactly.
if, because if you're gonna forgive somebody, truth be told, we all still gonna know, like, yo, really, why you do me like that? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, bro.
And
Oh
it's
man,
gonna,
that is so
yeah,
true, man.
you're gonna be able
Once
to get
you
that level of
understand
understanding,
why someone has done what they've done,
regardless of
man, it
if you
just
agree with it or
if you
not.
agree or not, bro, it's
Yes,
just
you
like,
have that understanding.
you made that
Yes.
decision because of where you were in your life. I don't
Yep.
agree with where you are in your life.
Yep.
And maybe I wouldn't do that, but I understand.
Right.
Whether
And we
I
don't.
agree
And we
with it
don't
or
even
not.
know. You might do it. You might have done. You might have made
Exactly.
that same mistake, or that. No, I wouldn't
Yep.
even say mistake. You might have made that same choice. You know, that
Mm-hmm.
hurt your feelings to somebody else. We don't know. We don't know. But we
That's
got to know
good,
that
bro.
everybody's not perfect. Everybody's not going to be perfect. People are going to make, like I said, people are going to make decisions based on what they got going on in their life, and it's up to
Mm-hmm.
us to honestly be cool with it. You know, be cool with it. But then at the same time, we still gotta have a little tact. Yo, we're
Forgive,
not about to
move
be
on.
doing people wrong. You
Yeah,
know.
exactly. And no one's saying you got to forgive and keep that person in your life. Forgive, move on. Do you?
Yeah, forgive him. Yeah, forgive him. Move
And
on
just
for real.
and just be happy for what's next in your life. Yeah, so I like that.
Yep. Yep.
Number 7 is step out of your comfort zone. Most
I'm
people
good.
shy away from stepping out of their comfort zone. We like our comfort, and that's not bad. Even if it's minor. For some examples can be to get up earlier, ask a coworker to lunch, start a project you've put off for years, go to a different church, start a podcast, uh, restaurant or library, man. What's one way in 2023, man, you think you can step outside of your comfort zone? What's one thing you can do that makes you uncomfortable, but that you can grow from it?
I'm gonna have to start going back to church. I'm
Okay.
gonna tell you that. I'm gonna have to start going back to church. For so long, I for it's been about 4 or 5 years, maybe almost 6, to
Mm-hmm.
where I just had a bad relationship with just being in a church. I was in a church when I was at my first duty station, and it dissolved. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it was a great church, all in it, everything like that, and I just never had that feeling of belonging, that feeling of wanting to work for God, that feeling of just being okay with the people that I'm around. And I feel like I've been chasing this high, and I don't know how to get it back. And
Yeah.
then obviously COVID was the perfect excuse not to go back to church, you know? And I've been on it. I stay online, I stay connected, with YouTube, Facebook, but actually getting around and really
Being in
getting
the
the
atmosphere.
energy, getting
Yeah.
the 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 spirit of those people around me for spiritual growth, not bad spirits,
Yeah.
but getting around those people that have the same mindset, and yo, let's grow, let's get better in our spirituality, um people that's like-minded as me as far as my
Mm-hmm.
spirituality, can get me closer to God. I can go out and get people closer to God. I love talking to people. um but as far as, I need to start being around people a lot more. I
Me
can
too.
I can be
Very
honest,
good.
bro. It scares me to be out there with people,
I agree with you, man. I feel you.
you know.
Because you got to be
And I
vulnerable, man. You got to be vulnerable all over again. Every time you meet somebody, you know, with how I can tell you are now, especially how you always been. You Chucky 24/7. So that's you. That's authentic.
That's
So
me.
you can't not be yourself. So you're authentic everywhere you go. When you meet people, some people accept it, some people don't. And whether you care or not, it still affects you. It still affects us.
And yeah,
I may not care what people feel about me, but if nobody like me, that's going to affect me. You know what I mean?
that's true.
So I feel
That's
you
true.
on the church thing too, especially with the day and age we're in now. It's churches everywhere.
Easy. Yeah.
It's on YouTube, it's on Spotify, Apple Music, It's apps now. It's so many ways to get the word of God without stepping into
Yo,
the chapel.
yo, this and correct me if I'm wrong. This convenience that we have going on with the way that we are able to get spiritual growth, as far as like you said, you got the Apple Music, you got the Spotify, you got the YouTube, you got the Facebook, you got Zoom,
Mm-hmm.
you got all this stuff that you can just plug into whenever you want to. Yeah, it's cool. I can,
Yeah.
if I'm going through, I want to sit down, I want to listen to a little guy, boom, I plug into it. But is that hurting us more than it's helping us? Because we're supposed to be around people, where
I
two or three are
think.
gathered, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a little hard to do it when you always plugged in.
I think if you aren't where you need to be spiritually, I can't tell nobody to go to church, because church isn't just the building, like you said, with two or
Facts.
three
Facts.
gather, that's church. But at the same time, I think it's lazy. It can be lazy.
It can be lazy, yes.
It can be lazy to say, I'm going to just throw on some gospel music in the morning. It can be lazy to say, I'm going to listen to this 15-minute sermon on YouTube instead of getting dressed and going out and all that stuff. I'm going to just play this in the car instead of reading my Bible. It can be, when it's used as a means to not, go to church, I think that's where the issue can come in. It's kind of like, let's say you're working out and you're not feeling it today, right? You're not feeling it, but you go and you're like, I know I can lift 25 pounds, but I'm going to do 20. I know I could do another set, but I'm going to stop.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're still working out, but are you maximizing that muscle?
Exactly.
Are you feeding it to the point to where it can grow? Are you giving it the bare minimum? Do you look at food and say, I'm going to order this burger? I can eat the whole burger, but I'm going to eat half. No, you're going to eat the burger.
Yes. A lot of people don't understand that the growth requires the right environment.
Mm-hmm.
It requires
Absolutely.
the right environment. You cannot, and you will not continue to grow somewhere in the same exact environment as always.
In your comfort zone. I don't think growth happens if you're comfortable. I think growth, in order to grow, you have to be uncomfortable. That's something I honestly believe. I gotta be.
Growth is tearing down and building up.
Exactly. It has to look unfinished, and it has to look to where when you're looking at it or when you're there, you can't see how you get to, the butterfly in the cocoon. If I show a kid a butterfly who knows nothing about butterflies, and I show a kid a cocoon, they would never say that butterfly came from that cocoon. Ain't no way. And if I say, get in this cocoon, and I promise you'll become a butterfly, you're going to be like, man, dog, 3 days?
Get out of my face.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it's got to be another way, bro. It's got to be another way.
Gotta be.
But that's what it is, man. You got to put yourself in uncomfortable situations in order to grow. And challenge yourself, You don't grow without challenging yourself. I like that.
Facts.
So 8 is practice self-love. Being kind to ourselves is not something that comes easy for most. Our natural tendency is to talk to ourselves in a negative way, criticizing our behavior and who we are. To be kind to ourselves means to honor our needs and wants. It also means to take care of our health, stress levels, and personal happiness. Find ways to practice self-love, which will help increase your confidence. Man, I look at myself saying, boy, you getting fat.
All
That
the
ain't
time.
self-love. You need to get in the gym, dude.
Yeah.
My beard don't connect, man. I be like, man, dog, looking at myself like, man, your child is behind. You know what I'm saying? I always got something negative. But when we think about it, man, we got to switch that up. Look in the mirror, and I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. You know what I'm saying? You gotta love yourself in order for others to love you.
You gotta
know your worth.
Right. You can't continue to look at others, because obviously, in order to call ourselves ugly, we have to. It has to be on some kind of
some scale, you know.
Some scale, you know. And it's just like, bruh, everybody's gonna look different, you know. If God wanted it to be the same, we'd all be the same, you know.
We would all be the same.
Everybody's not gonna be the same. So you gotta take. It's almost like take your win. Take your win and run with it.
You woke up this morning
and run with
find something positive to tell yourself about yourself.
Yes,
each and every day,
and be okay with it. At that,
Absolutely.
Don't just say it. Be okay with it and truly believe it. Don't be out here just saying some BS. You know, say what you got.
Love it about yourself
and truly believe the words that you are saying to yourself. Honestly,
words, life and death is in the power of the tongue, man. Words go a long way. You know,
you gotta
positive
affirm
and negative words. Affirmation, man. Positive affirmation. So, you know, y'all practice self-love, man. Number 9 is change your mindset. The real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new lands, but seeing with new eyes. Changing our mindset can change our outcomes. It's not easy, though, because so much of our thinking is habitual. Really, it's becoming more aware of our thoughts that allow greater control over them. So keep in mind that you always have a choice in how you react to life setbacks and challenges.
Facts.
So change your mindset. Change your mindset. It kind of, you know, that can go too about what we talked about with the work thing. You know, I don't like my job, but I got a job. You know, change the way you view things in your life. You know, man, I can't afford that house yet, but I got a roof over my head. You know, I got food to eat. You know, change the way you think and the way you see things. You know, and really appreciate what you have. And I believe when you change that, you can't change the outcome of things. You know, if I'm more positive than negative, then I feel like that will lead to me having more success in things.
Yep.
So that's number 9. 10 is start doing what matters. Things which matter most must never be at the mercy of things which matter least. This quote by
say it again.
Things which matter most must never be at the mercy of things which matter least. Start doing what matters.
Facts.
How you feel about that one?
It's priorities to these things. You got to understand that you got to put priorities in your life, and you got to set those priorities, and you got to keep them priorities. If you focus on one thing, don't allow those little instances for, like I said, for things that don't matter to affect the things that you prioritize. If you prioritize it, when those little things start jacking up, make sure your priorities are in straight, and then you can go and tweak with that. But don't allow those little things to mess up, honestly, your big dreams, your big goals. You know, you just can't.
It can be something so simple as in, you know, when you wake up, what's the first thing you do? Do you get on your phone, search social media? Do you turn the TV on? Do you turn on your Xbox? You know, what's the first thing you do? And how important is that to your day going well? Do you think it's best to get up, get on your phone, and start diving in social media? Or maybe it's best to get up, you know, have a glass of water, you know, read, meditate, pray, you know, prioritize those things. No one's saying you can't do the other things. Just focus on what matters and do the things that matter, because social media, if we're being honest, it doesn't matter. You know, it's a platform, it's an image, it's internet, it's fake. We all take from it. We all enjoy it. but we
Hmm.
all can hurt from it as well. You know, read something, teach yourself something in those moments. And that way, when you're on social media, you're prepared. Mentally, if you get on and you see a comment you don't like, you prepared your mental state of mind for that. You know what I'm saying? You've been
Yeah,
reading,
you
you've
don't
been
take offense to it. You're just like, okay, that
exactly.
is what it is, you know.
Family for me is a big one. Family matters, no pun intended. Uh, how how important is your family to you? How important is that time you spend with your daughter, your son?
Hmm.
Not always.
I
I ain't
miss
got
my
time
kid.
right now, or go sit down right now. I'll do that later. You doing too much. You too loud.
Man,
All the
that's
time.
hard. That is so
It's
hard.
hard,
I'm
bro.
not
It
gonna
is
lie.
hard.
Me and my wife, we find ourselves doing it. We was like, we gotta spend more time with the we gotta spend more time with the kids. I know we having kids so young, I got an 8-year-old, dude. I got an 8-year-old. I'm 29. So me and Kayla, we started early. And obviously we have jobs, we have things that we do, and it's just like, man, yo, like I wanna spend time with my wife. I wanna spend time with my wife. I wanna spend time with my wife, you know? And it's
Absolutely.
just like I still have to spend time with my kids. I want to spend time with my kids. I want to spend time with them. Um, so it's just it's definitely hard finding that balance. I want to say that um, I don't think there is a right or wrong balance for that.
No,
For
it's
anybody
all
out there
about
that
what
might
you
be,
can do,
yes, for
what
anybody
you
out there
can.
struggling with it,
Yeah,
anybody
you
out there
just got to
struggling with
figure
it,
out what works.
yeah, 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 for sure, for sure.
So those things matter. Encounters with your children matter. Those moments matter. Something so simple as tucking them in at night, reading them a book at night,
Hmm.
asking them about their day, little things like that can go a long way. Because it can be lost on them, and you know we gotta understand that those relationships start now. When they're young. And as they get older, you want that relationship to grow. You want it to mature, because at some point, we take care of our kids now. Our kids are going to take care of us.
Yes.
Do you want to be old and your kids are putting you on the back burner? You know
Look,
what I
for
mean?
real.
It's
Start
just
increasing
like
your value while they're young.
exactly, and help them understand the value of spending time with each other and things like that.
Hmm.
So start doing what matters, y'all. In the year 23. Number 11 is do some self introspection. When did you last take some time to reflect on how your life is going? Asking yourself, am I happy? Do I have meaning in life? Am I using my talents? And what do I have? And what do I value? And am I making my values a priority? These questions are some of the most important ones you can ask yourself, and answers can bring about change that leads to greater joy and fulfillment in life.
Yeah. It sounds like, man, it sounds like overall, just do you know what your purpose is? Give
Mm-hmm.
yourself a purpose. Once you give yourself a purpose, then all those other things will just fall in line with, okay, I might be, if you give yourself a purpose, I have you get a certain level of understanding with the different things that's going on with your life, honestly, and you're able to navigate through them um, a little better, if you give yourself purpose and okay, this is my purpose, this is where I should be at, and if you're not there, then obviously you get there. But if you got things going on and you was like, man, my purpose don't got nothing to do with this,
Yeah.
you might need to
Are
shed that
you
out.
are you focusing yourself on what your am I making my values a priority? So what you
Right.
value, is that a priority in your life? Are you saying, hey, I want to start a business? Are you putting yourself in position to start that business? Or are you just watching YouTube videos on how to? Are you applying
Right.
those things? Do you are you in the right field? Are you saying, I want to start this business, but are you using the tools you have to start it? Or are you doing something else because of somebody else? Am I doing a YouTube channel because this person got successful doing a YouTube channel and they did X, Y, Z?
Right.
So I'm gonna do X, Y, Z. Or do I have talents that I could do, or do I have something to offer, that's true to me? And am I
What's
giving
your
that?
purpose?
Exactly. Who are you? Don't get caught up in everyone else and what they're doing and try to emulate that. Look within yourself and look and ask yourself, what do I have to offer? What do I bring to the table? Yes. And trust that you have purpose, that's valuable. Yep. And grow that value. If it's something so simple, I'm someone who's a motivational speaker who always talks to people. Like, let's say I'm always giving advice, right? I'm not going to get on YouTube and do try-on hauls. You know what I mean? That's not me.
Right.
I see
that's
such and such making money off of that, but that's not me. Why not let me increase my vocabulary? Let me take a psychology class. Let me find another way to understand people, because I've been doing this my whole life. I've been talking to people. People always ask me for advice. Okay, maybe I could give advice for a little. Maybe I could be a spiritual coach. Maybe I could be a life coach. Let me find out what I have inside of myself and offer that to people.
Yes.
So, do some self-introspection. And last but not least, here's the one. Serve more. What if we woke up in the morning and instead of thinking about all that we needed to do that day, we asked ourselves, how many may I serve today?
Literally, bro. Literally. If you out there and you can know that what I have, somebody else needs. What I have in my head, somebody else needs. Go out there and help. Go out there and at least put it out there on the street so somebody can go get it. Man.
That right there. How can I make a difference today with a project or a coworker? Instead of always thinking, man, I got so much to do today. I got all this on my plate. Reverse that thinking and think, how can I help Chuck with all he got going on today? Is there anything I could do to help him today, with any knowledge that I have or anything that I'm capable of giving? We need to learn to serve each other more. We're all
everybody
servants.
At that. Everybody.
Exactly. We all need somebody.
We need somebody.
So why not give back? Why not give?
And we just lean on each other. Everything is so much easier. It's just go back to that example where you was talking about with the sit-ups. Just don't think about, I'm tired. Think about what I'm doing is going to help this person out next time.
Exactly.
Exactly. And if
they're struggling right
doing
now.
that,
they're down.
Yeah.
But I can help. I can help. It's
in
not
other ways.
Exactly.
In different ways, because you might be good in one area and what you give can help this person, and you might be bad in an area and you giving and somebody else giving to you in that area that you're bad in. So it's not necessarily like you're just always losing out. You always losing out. Let's help each other so we will all not lose out but always continue to gain.
How important is that in your marriage? In marriage, how important is it to serve your spouse?
It's extremely important. It's extremely important. It keeps the worst thing to do is it's to be selfish in a marriage, and to think that, and to really look at what you got. If you always serving the other person and y'all both come into an agreement that I'm in here to serve you, you're in this to serve me. Let's serve each other. Boom, 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 boom. You'll never lack. You'll never lack. Man. You'll never lack. And obviously, it's we each are gonna have some things that we have to do on our own, but to be able to consistently give into each other and to do for each other, you make it a little easier for them to do and to give to you.
Absolutely, man. So serve more, y'all. Those are the 12 personal growth ideas. implement those in 2023, and really, really challenge yourself this year.
For sure.
We're all going to experience growing pains. We're all going to, have our setbacks, but it's just a grind. It's a marathon. Work through it, and I promise you, by the end of the year, the goal is to be better. The goal is to be better each and every day.
Every day.
And if you apply these things, I promise you, by the end of the year, you will have grown and you'll be a much better person than you were today.
Focus on actually growing, actually doing the right things.
Absolutely. Cool. So we'll do a little quick sports segment, man. Should Alabama have been in the college football playoffs, man? Yes or no? After they won 45-20? Now be 40, careful, I got that A on my chest.
Yeah, I'm an Alabama fan too. Obviously I want them in the playoffs. I cannot. A loss is a loss. I'm not even gonna lie. A loss is a loss.
A loss is a loss.
I'm not even gonna say that. And being an Alabama fan, even if we made it to the college playoffs, how much faith did we have in our team to actually
have a lot of faith, man.
To win it, not to get there. I believe we can get there. We can get there any day.
I think win it. I have faith, and the reason I have faith is matchups. College football is matchups, man. And look at Georgia. Georgia just almost lost to Ohio State. Ohio State missed a game-winning field goal. Otherwise, Georgia would have lost. Yeah, he shanked it. Like, that was just like as bad as a kid could get. And I think that was nerves.
Probably.
Because in order to shank it that bad, it had to be nerves. Mm-hmm. But not to discredit the 4 teams that were there, because TCU beat Michigan. And I was like, TCU shouldn't be here. But TCU beat Michigan. But do I think TCU is going to beat Georgia?
No.
And do I think that's going to be a good game? I feel like offensively TCU is a great program. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to see it. I'm against Georgia. Probably not. No. I think Georgia is going to dog walk them, honestly.
You remember, I feel like it's going to kind of be like, and I could be wrong, but I think it's going to be like when they let Notre Dame in a few years back. They let Notre Dame in, I think, at the Ford, and they played Alabama, and they got destroyed. God.
They wanted Notre Dame to be in there. Everybody was like, oh, Notre Dame got in there, and they got stomped. Nah, but I think it was cool. I'm ready for the 12 team. That's going to be litty. That's going to be litty. Yes. That's going to be litty, yo. That's going to be litty, especially with Coach Proud coming in there. They set it up perfectly for him to get in there. He's going to be in the playoffs first year. And we're going to see what he do.
They got his son as a favorite for Heisman right now. So we'll see how she do. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
He's a Heisman favorite.
Obviously, we've seen the GOAT do GOAT things. 47 points on his birthday.
Who's the GOAT?
47 points on his birthday. 47, 10, and 9 on his birthday. Come on, man.
I know LeBron did that, but the GOAT didn't do that.
LeBron James, GOAT man. GOAT man James.
That's another time for another day. GOAT this, GOAT that. LeBron is a great basketball player, nothing withstanding. But that GOAT, I just don't know, man. I think that's a topic you can have, and it could change every day. But
yeah,
LeBron has played longer. Okay, LeBron has also had better teams when he's won. Now, LeBron has also played against better teams, so I'll give you that. Right? Golden State Warriors. Michael Jordan never had to. Right?
Ever.
But I don't know. 5 years from now, I'll probably change my tune. But I can't appoint someone the greatest to still play.
It's just I no I get what you're saying. It's just hard to not look at the fact that he is top 10 in every category that other than blocks. Everything else, he's top 10 in it, and no other player is like that. Regardless of how, yes, I get you. So a lot of people say, he played for a long time. So did Vince Carter. So did Kobe.
This is true.
So did Dirk. So it's just like the opportunity presented themselves to people. Now, who took advantage of it?
And this is credit to LeBron. This is also credit to God and whoever you call your creator. He's never been injured. And that right there is luck. I think Derrick Rose pre-injury is better than Ja Morant.
So I used to think that. But the ability to not be injured, I'm not saying that people that get injured, they was just neglected. They was just, it was this big neglect. But to the ability not to get injured, to keep your body in shape, I think that enhances his GOAT conversation. I do.
We'll talk about that next time, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to write down some
stuff
stuff
break
about
it down.
MJ, and so you understand that. But y'all let us know who y'all think the GOAT is. I know it's
James.
But moving on, man. This is a good first episode, man. A great first episode. I'm so excited for what's to come, man. I'm looking forward to this. We got a lot of stuff, a lot of knowledge we want to pass on to y'all, and also, we're going to set up. We want to set up something to where y'all can, reach out to us, and if there's any topics y'all would like us to talk about or
let us know.
Let us know.
Let us know.
Whether it be on YouTube, whether it be on Instagram, however you guys want to contact us, let us know. And we look forward to doing this for the long run, man. This is just episode 1 of many.
Yep.
We're gonna close with the weekly scripture. So Chuck, you want to give everybody a weekly scripture?
So I have my favorite scripture, and it's Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And just know that anything that you got your mind set to, you can do all things through Christ, because he's going to give you that strength. And he's the most powerful person ever, the most powerful, the most capable person ever to give you that strength. If you do it with God, it's going to come out all right. It's going to come out all right. Every single time.
Agree with that, man. So y'all use that scripture throughout the week, whatever you're going through. Lean on God. And that's about it, y'all. So till next time, Chuck, it was good, man. Let's go ahead and get up out of here, y'all.
Let's go.
We out of here. Catch y'all later, man.